I'd like you to get comfortable in your seat. And today we're going to do a little bit different meditation, so we're going to do a little bit of moving. If you'd like to keep your eyes open to follow the movements, go ahead and do that. But today we're going to focus on our movements being intentional, and we're going to breathe. This meditation is based on movements by Living Bliss Yogini because I believe it's important to give credit where credit is due. So let's begin with our Namaste at Heart Center as we breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. On your next inhalation, I'd like you to bring your arms up. Breathe in. And your hands meet at the top. And breathe out. Back down to heart center. Breathe in, hands up. And breathe out. And then back down to heart center. Let's do this one more time. Breathing in and out. Now, I'd like you to reach your left hand out as you breathe in. Move your body as you see, and then out and back to heart center. Breathe in, let's reach out to the right. And back in the heart center as you breathe out. One more time on the left. Breathe in and out. Breathe in as you reach to the right and out as you come back to heart center. Next, we're going to picture our pushing energy up to the ceiling and out to the right. As you breathe in and breathe out, pushing that same peace back into the earth. Let's breathe in and out. One more time. Breathing in, lifting our hands up and down. Peace and love back into this earth. I'd like you to find a neutral place for your hands either at heart center or on your lap. Our next breath, we're going to move our left leg out as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, we bring our leg back underneath our knee. Again, we move our right leg out as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, bring it back just under your knee. Let's breathe in one more time. As we move our left leg out, and breathe out, bringing it back just underneath your knee. Breathe in as you move your right leg out, and bring it back just underneath your knee. I'd like you to picture a pencil at the end of your nose, and we're going to do a small spiral working highly recommend going on YouTube and watching the full exercise in person. But for today, I say thank you and namaste.
Hey, you always got something. He's joining me. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers, in charge of what you'll say. Say God and righteousness, must stay on these words, and your way God is always there, and every thought comes you're up.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, love that energy. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere today. You chose to be here. I appreciate your presence and your spirit. I'd like to start today with a prayer, so let us pray. Divine, thank you for our new opportunities, our new needs, our joy of the sun, our new adventures, and our new doors. Thank you for our safety, health, wellness, and security. Amen. So today we're continuing on with our 7 C's. And today's lesson is on confidence. So Webster defines confidence as a feeling or consciousness of one's power or reliance on one's circumstances. This reminds me of the story of David. David said to Saul, in 1 Samuel, chapter 17, verse 32 to 37, David said to Saul, "Let no one's heart fail because of him. Your servant will go fight with this Philistine." So he's saying, I have the confidence to say, I can do this. I can fight this person. Some let this fear override what their gut is telling them to do. Have you ever been pulled and said, okay, I need to do this thing, but I do not feel prepared. I do not feel capable, right?
Of course.
There's always been that time. But David didn't say that. He's like, I got this. I may not look qualified, but I know it's mine. Right? That's right. It's yours. So Saul said to David, "You are not able to go against this Philistine. Fight him, for you are just a boy, and he has been a warrior from his youth." So sometimes you need to not trust the opinions of others. You can ask if you feel it's necessary, but use what resonates with you and leave the rest. Life is too short to live on someone else's terms. But David said to Saul, "Your servant used to keep sheep for his father, and whenever a lion or a bear came and took the lamb from the flock, I went after it and struck it down, rescuing the lamb from its mouth. And if it turned against me, I would catch it by the jaw, strike it down, and kill it. Your servant has killed both lions and bears, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be one of them, since he has defied the armies of the living God." So confidence comes from this feeling of well-being, acceptance of yourself, and belief in your own ability, skills, and experience. David said, "The Lord who saved me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will save me from the hand of the Philistine." So Saul said, "Go, and may the Lord be with you." So he had confidence that he could overcome the Philistines. And in this case, the Philistines are our obstacles, are our challenges, right? These things that come up that help us learn and grow. Paul has an affirmation that says, "I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me." So if you feel like you alone cannot do it, know that you are never alone. There is always this God within you that can overcome, that can do what is yours to do. And I'm sure you're saying, okay, well, affirmations are great, but what if I want a more diverse look at how to obtain confidence? I say there's a book for that. Because there's always a book for that. So this book is by Sheena Yamchan. Right? And it is called The Tao of Self-Confidence. So Tao is the way, right? So this book is the way to self-confidence, and she describes it as a collection of stories on how to find confidence. She talks about generational trauma and how to move through it, because this trauma lives in ourselves, so we are constantly rewriting the story we want to see in our lives. She talks about how we don't do it alone. Not necessarily through God, but through our community, right? Because if each one of us is a living example, each one of us has positive God qualities, then we can do more with our community. And she asked the question about how you react to your reflection. When you look in the mirror, what is one of the first things you say to yourself?
I'm beautiful, I am.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And sometimes we use those I am statements. I think Brian mentioned this last week, right? With the I am statements, how you don't put anything negative at the end, right?
Right, exactly.
Because that I am is when you're declaring that God within you. And that God within you is not negative. It doesn't lack anything. So that means you don't lack anything. You have all that you need to succeed. You are all, just as God is all. So, you're like, okay, well, what happens when I come up against a challenge, right? This is one of my favorite Venn diagrams ever. So you have your comfort zone here. Over here. You have growth and change. So a lot of times you think confidence comes from this place of comfort. You believe that confidence comes from knowing what you're going to do and moving into it, but that's not where it starts. It starts over here with this growth and this change. That's why we have so many obstacles. It's the universe saying, hey, this is your flag, you need to pay attention to this. This is where we move forward. So in our book, The Art of Achievement, which is where the 7 C's come from, by Tom Morris, he talks about Aristotle, and Aristotle gives us a formula for all virtues, which confidence is a virtue. He defines virtue as the midpoint between two vices, and these vices are on extreme opposite spectrums. This is on page 36 of the book. I'll have it available after service if you'd like to look at it.
What was that by?
Tom Morris, The Art of Achievement. And that's more of a philosophical look at change, or philosophical look of achievement, instead of our 7 C's where we bring in our metaphysical interpretation. So he talks about the aspects that are opposite of each other. So over here we have cowardice. I can spell. And then we have courage, which is a virtue. And then rashness. So on our way to achieving courage, we could do one of two things. We cannot go far enough. There we go. And we can say, oh, well, I don't even want to start, right? I don't have what's necessary to finish this job, so I don't want to walk into that. Or we can go in and say, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing, but here I am. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do what I can with what I got. Which doesn't sound bad. But if you don't, I like to say that I have just enough knowledge to be dangerous, but not enough knowledge to get things done all the time. So that's where your rashness comes in at. And with confidence, over here, we have anxiety. The things that keep us stuck. The things that hold us back. The things that we're like, well, I don't want to do that because that seems scary. In the middle, you have your courage. And at the end, you have arrogance. So even if you've been shown and proven that you don't have enough knowledge, instead of working towards making it better, you say, well, that was good enough, right? I did it, even though it hurt somebody. It was okay because it's done. Is it? So we need to be careful of these ends of the spectrum. Don't get stuck in this anxiety. We need to make it to our virtue. Don't go too far into arrogance, because you don't have to do everything. In this life, there's a reason we're a community. The reason we're drawn together with people of like mind. You're not in it alone. You say, okay, but how do you get confidence? And Morris talks about 3 simple questions you can ask yourself. The first question is, can it happen? Can X happen? So can Annie get her job?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, she can. Is it okay for Annie to get her job?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. There is no moral quandary about whether or not Annie gets the job, right?
Right.
She's qualified, she's capable, she's got this.
My interviewer was more nervous than I was.
I love that. That is wonderful, yes. And is it best for Annie to get her job? Absolutely, because then she can get back to her community. She can pay her bills. Those ever-increasing prices, right? Seems to be everything these days. So, is it best for X to happen? Brad, what are you doing these days? Is there something that you want to walk into with courage? A diet? Okay.
Put on some weight.
So can a diet happen for you?
Yes.
Absolutely. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. You'll probably feel better even,
Absolutely.
right? And is it best for this to happen? Yes. But sometimes when you say, is it best? I sometimes have problems with that, right? Because I like to think about how it affects other people. With Brad's case, it's yes, absolutely, resounding yes. It'll help in his physical, mental, spiritual well-being, right? In Annie's case, it'll help her with her physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. But what happens when you come up to something that's just a conundrum, right? Like it could potentially be bad for somebody else because they may not get that position. They might not, that's when I say, okay, leave it to God. That's when you let go, let God. You can meditate and say, is this meant to happen?
Right.
And we affirm good, always. And you say, okay, Well, I've done my checklist. So how do I cultivate it, right? How do I bring this forth into my life? Morris talks about the internal aspect of it and an external aspect of it. So on the inside, first things first, you visualize, right? Just like any great athlete who wants to excel, any person who wants a job. I'm sure Annie visualized this job before it came into existence, right? Because you were saying, I have this idea of what I want.
50 applications.
And 50 applications later, she spoke this job into existence. So you have visualization. We'll call that A. And then B, we have articulation. And I was like, what the heck is articulation? Pardon my spelling. So that's when you write it out, or you speak it to someone. Here's the oral aspect of it. It's like my art, it's like a week, right? So you write out, this job is mine. I am good enough. And then you speak it and you say, I have this job, right? I'm able to start my diet. Yeah.
I just had my last cookies.
It's not about restriction. It's about moderation.
There we go, I only had one.
See? Positive self-talk. Because sometimes we need to earn it, right? Sometimes we need to step beyond just what we know to get past these physical limitations. We see these bills rising, but we know we can pay them. That positive self-talk is so important. We've got this. And then there's the physical aspect of it, taking directed action. That was your 50 applications, Annie. That was showing up for your interview when it was scheduled. Because there's a lot of times we get halfway there. What happened if Annie had scheduled the interview and couldn't show up? Or didn't show up because she didn't feel qualified? A lot of times we cut ourselves short. And we shouldn't. God is always there. She didn't. If she can do it, we can too. Right. So this directed action is very, very important. Reverend Brian put a list together of things to talk about, and my daughter said I could borrow her book.
I cry every time I read that
Really?
To my grandkids, my kids, every time I read it. And I read that a lot to all my kids and grandkids.
I'm sorry, but also you're gonna cry.
Yeah.
So this one is by Ratty Piper and Dan Statek. It's The Little Engine That Could. Because I believe that as adults we are not read to nearly enough. And I know it's a kid's story, but stay with me.
It's my favorite.
Stay with me. Chug, chug, chug. Puff, puff, puff. Ding dong, ding dong. The little train rumbled over the tracks. She was a happy little train, and she had a jolly load to carry. Her cars were filled with good things for boys and girls. There were toys, toy animals, giraffes with long necks, teddy bears with almost no necks at all, and even a baby elephant. There were dolls with blue eyes and yellow curls, dolls with brown eyes, brown bobbed heads, and the funniest little toy clown you ever saw. There were cars full of toy engines, airplanes, tops, jackknives, picture puzzle books, and every kind of thing a boy or girl could ever want. But that wasn't all. Some of the cars were filled with all sorts of good things for boys and girls to eat. Big golden oranges, red-cheeked apples, bottles of creamy milk for breakfast, fresh spinach for their dinners, peppermint drops, and lollipops for after-meal treats. The little train was carrying all these wonderful things to little boys and girls on the other side of the road train. She puffed along merrily when all of a sudden, she stopped with a jerk. She simply couldn't go another inch. She tried and tried, but her wheels wouldn't turn. What are all these good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain going to do without the wonderful toys to play with and the good food to eat?
That's where I cried.
Here comes the shiny new engine with a funny little clown who jumped out to ask. Let's ask him to help us. So all the dolls and toys cried out together, please, shiny new engine, won't you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine is broken down, and the boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or food unless you help us. But the shiny new engine snorted, you? I'm a passenger train. I've just carried a fine big train over the mountain with more cars than you could have ever dreamed of. My train had sleeping cars with comfortable berths, a dining car where waiters bring whatever people want, and parlor cars in which people sit in comfortable soft armchairs. Look out of the big plate glass windows. I pull the likes of you? Indeed not. And off he steamed to the roundhouse, where the engines live when they are not busy. How sad the little train and dolls were. Then the little clown called out, passenger engine is not the only one in the world. Here's another engine. Let's ask him for help. So the toy clown waved and said, please, oh please, big engine, will you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the little boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys or food unless you help us. The big, strong engine bellowed, I'm a freight train. I just pulled a big train loaded with machines over the mountain. These machines print books and newspapers for grown-ups to read. I am very important. I won't pull the likes of you. And the freight engine pulled off indignantly to the roadhouse. The little train and all the dolls and toys were very sad. Cheer up, the toy clown said. The freight engine is not the only one in the world. Here comes another one. He looks very old and tired, but our train is so little. Perhaps he will help us. The little toy clown waved her flag, and the rusty old engine stopped. Please, train engine, cried the dolls and toys together. Won't you please pull our train over the mountain? That way we can help these little boys and girls get the food and toys they need. The rusty old engine sighed. I am so tired. I must rest my weary wheels. I cannot pull even a small train like you. I cannot. He rumbled to the roundhouse chugging. I cannot. And indeed, the little train was very, very sad, and the dolls and the toys cried. The little clown called out, here's another engine coming. The little engine came chugging along merrily, and she saw the toy clown's flag. What's the matter, friends? She asked kindly. The little blue engine cried, and the dolls and the toys asked, will you pull us over the mountain? There are boys and girls that need us and the food that we carry. Will you please help us, little blue engine? I'm not very big, said the little blue engine. They use me only for switching trains in the yard. I have never been over the mountain. But we must get over the mountain before the children awake, said all the dolls and toys. The very little engine looked up and saw the tears in the doll's eyes, and she thought of the little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain who would not have any food or toys unless she helped. And then she said, I think I can. She hitched herself to the little train, and she tugged and pulled and tugged and pulled, and slowly, they started off. The toy clown jumped aboard, and all the dolls and toys and animals began to smile and cheer. Puff, puff, chug, chug. Went the little blue engine. I think I can. Up, faster and faster and faster the little engine climbed until at last they reached the top of the mountain. And down in the valley lay the city. Hooray, hooray, cried the funny little clown and all the dolls and toys. The good little boys and girls of the city will be happy because you helped us. Kind little blue engine. And the little blue engine smiled and seemed to say as she puffed steadily down the mountain, I thought I could. I thought I could. I thought I could. I thought I could.
Yes.
It may seem like a little story, but each engine is people we encounter in life, right?
Yeah.
There was the passenger engine who thought they were too good for this. They had the capability, they had the tools, they had the knowledge, they chose not to help. The freight engine who was like, well, I do things like that in my sleep, right? This little engine, the big engine was saying, okay, no, no, no. The rusty engine also said no. But it's where they put their value in the end. The little old engine didn't have confidence in what he could do. The two bigger ones said it was beneath them. So when you ask for help, don't let the perception of others change what is yours to do. Just because others wouldn't help, there is that little blue engine in your life. There is that person to help you get up the mountain should you need it. Just like David, this little blue engine tried. She took direct action. She said, I think I can. David said, I think I can. You can too. Someone else who takes directed action is Simone Biles. If you don't know her, she's an Olympic gymnast. She had come up against some challenges in the Tokyo Olympics, and she knew it wasn't going well. In her interview, she talked about the twisties, which is where, apparently, this is a term I've never heard before, where your mind and your body go in two different directions. So your mind is trying to tell your body what to do, but your body's just doing what it does. She likens this to driving a car and not remembering how to move your body to operate the vehicle. It's really scary. So in that Olympics, she won 1 bronze medal for her floor routine, and she walked away from most of them that year, which was not like her because she had been a gold Olympic medal winner a year prior. So she walks away from Olympics for 2 years. She works through her trauma. She finds a spouse. She leans on her support system. And then she announces she wants to go to the Paris Olympics. She goes, let's go, coach. And he's like, oh, no. We're not starting there. We're starting with the basics. We're going to get your body worked up to Olympic level. And then we can talk about it. And she says that that process is like taking 1 step forward and 5 steps back. So sometimes confidence means showing up and being here. And on one of her floor routines, she did a 12-foot jump. That's higher than the tallest basketball player.
Mm.
And she is a petite woman. So if she can overcome these challenges, she can take her direct action, so can you. Sorry. So these are our action steps that we can take, right? That Brother Moen put together for us. He says, become an optimist. I say, be careful of toxic positivity. That's when you have this positive thought in mind, but there is no directed action behind it. Face your fears and take action. Surround yourself with positive people. And I'd like to say, surround yourself with supportive people. There is a difference. Because there are people who are overly positive for the sake of being positive, but it's not authentic. It doesn't come from their God self. And that's okay. That's where they're at. Find your support, because they're there. Find a mentor and become a mentor. So the best way to learn is to teach. And if you don't mind, I'd like to end today with our affirmations. I am confident.
I am confident.
Really?
I am confident.
One more time. I
am
am confident. Yes. I have the tools and skills to achieve what is mine to do.
I have the tools and skills to achieve what is mine to do.
Very good. I am able to take direct action.
I am able to take direct action.
Very good. Thank you, thank you. And it doesn't feel right to not have a quote from Charles Stonewall himself. He says that every man who accomplishes things sees first in his mind what he wishes to do. He puts away all doubt, and it makes no difference how small or how large a thing you want to do may be. But if you have unlimited confidence in your ability to do it, you will do it. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.
That was really good. Ryan gave me a couple months ago this song to sing today. I'd never heard it before. And I sang it with the karaoke thing a couple times and said, okay, I can do this. And then this past week I've been singing it a lot. And it's called I've Got Confidence by Elvis Presley. And it's like, this is like, I was singing it when I went in for my job interview, you know, it's like, just, this is cool. Okay, I'm ready. Oh, it was doing that to me earlier too.
Click.
There we go. Devil is in my way until night and day. I'm tossing side to side like a string on the radio. Don't worry, I don't worry. God has never failed me yet. Trouble's coming from time to time, but that's alright. I'm not gonna worry. God is working me through. No matter what the case may be, I know it's good for me. I got confidence. God is working me through. No matter what the case may be, I know it's good for me. Don't be so sick and long, and flesh fell from his bones. His wife was killed and children. Everything he had was wrong. Joe didn't